Dick Tappa was a very friendly, soft-spoken person who liked and was interested in everyone he met. He never lost his cool. He never shouted or became angry. And he had many interests, too, in the music field.
Dick Tappa was not only the college organist, he was also the organist for Covenant Presbyterian Church.
It meant that my life was music. I went to all the concerts.
Whenever I think of Dick Tappa, I recall our conversations. Where'd you come from, Dick? I came from Wisconsin. Oh yes, Wisconsin. Tell me more about what you've talked about before, the Wisconsin Dells. You could get him started on the Wisconsin Dells anytime. The Wisconsin Dells is an area of Wisconsin, of valleys and rolling hills and streams, and just a perfect kind of place to go and relax. He had Wisconsin in mind, and it was always there.
Dick Tappa belonged to Covenant Presbyterian and was an organist there as long as he was able. A very good church organist, a very good organist, period.
He made friends with the students. They enjoyed having him as accompanist because they knew they could rely on him and that he would be right there with them, especially at their finals or their juries or their recitals that they gave.
He was tremendous in, say, the half an hour before choir practice or something like that. If he was there, you could make a request. Would you play this for me? You know, like Oh Susanna or some such thing. Rattle it off without looking at any music. He could play it immediately. What key? Any key you wanted, he could do that. He could play anything that you asked him to play on the piano with gusto. He would do it with gusto.
He was an extremely good jazz pianist. And he sort of changed personality between his organ. I just remember hearing him play jazz piano and how much fun he seemed to have doing it.
He enjoyed it. You could just, it just written all over him that he was enjoying it, overtly enjoying it.
He would take Jan terms down to New Orleans, and once they had the misfortune of having some very unusual weather, very cold and wintry, because they always went in January, but they didn't have that kind of weather in New Orleans, except when the class came down to study jazz. And so they had to go ahead and do their activities because they went down there. So they went to this place and they wanted to hear the people play the pianos and jazz. No, they didn't come because it was so cold. They didn't come. And so the students had fun for a while, and then they said, Dr. Tappa, why don't you play? And so he began playing his jazz, and the students put probably a hurricane lamp or a hurricane glass on the table, and then as other brave people came along, they thought he worked there. And so they threw money in the glass, and he made the college made about $50 or $60 that night. He was instrumental in obtaining the carillon at the college. The carillon are the bells that chime and ring automatically now up in the steeple of Wynn Chapel. Dick learned to be a carillonneur. He studied one summer at the University of Wisconsin with a famous carillonneur there, and he went up in that tower as long as he could and played the keyboard that they had. You drop your fists on it, and it makes the bells ring. Then later on, when he couldn't get up there anymore, they made it so that it would play from a little keyboard downstairs in Wynn Chapel. And then he played that every week. And the people that worked on the campus looked forward to it, enjoyed it playing as they would walk to their cars. His most favorite musician was J.S. Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. And to this day, when I'm in the car and I have this Sirius radio, if Bach comes on, I immediately think, this is good, this is wonderful. And I think he's with me whenever I hear Bach.